Good morning to all of you. Hope you are doing very well. So, I'm here, your IELTS English coach Pooja, and today we are talking about the speaking module part 2, in which we get cue cards. So, are you all ready to crack your IELTS exam with 9 band success story? So, just focus on the main tips and the strategies which we are going to discuss today. Let's start. So, what is a cue card in speaking test part 2? In the IELTS speaking test, a cue card is a prompt card provided to candidates during part 2 of the test. During this part of the test, the candidate is given a task card with a topic and a set of prompts. The most important thing is the time. So, when you will be given a cue card, you will have 1 minute to prepare and you can make notes on paper. The candidate then speaks on the topic for up to 2 minutes. So, let's see what are the tips I have to give you all today, and we have to discuss about the keywords. Let's take a quick example. A cue card. Describe a memorable trip you took. You should say where you went, how you traveled, what you did there, and explain why it was memorable. So, what are the keywords? Where, how, what, and why. Important thing to keep in mind is that you should know that we have to talk maximum in explain why it was memorable. So, where you went. Everything in IELTS cue card is task achievement. One of the most memorable trips I took was to Kyoto, Japan. I traveled there by plane from my home country and then used public transportation, mainly buses and trains, to get around the cities. So you're noticing that we are also using lexical resource most and then also mainly. Let's go ahead. What did you there? During my stay in Kyoto, I visited many historic sites, including temples, shrines, and traditional gardens. One of the highlights was visiting the Fumishinari Shrine, famous for its thousands of red torii gates. I also experienced the local culture by staying in a traditional ryokan and trying various Japanese cuisines like sushi and ramen. So, what you did there, we need to talk about what we did there. We traveled, we saw the places, we had some interesting, tasty cuisines, and also what are the places. So, you need to say that with a couple of sentences. Here, the last question, and explain why it was memorable. Whenever the keywords, the fourth question in the cue card comes, why? It is very important for all of us to understand that we have to tell this by examples and by using a lot of lexical resource, means English grammar, good vocabulary, followed by adjectives. The trip was particularly memorable because of the unique blend of old and new that Kyoto offers. The city's rich history and cultural heritage left a lasting impression on me. Additionally, the hospitality of the Japanese people and the beauty of the cherry blossoms in spring made it an unforgettable experience. So, all my learners, make sure that when you are talking about your fourth cue card, you need to make sure that you are using connectors like because, additionally, and also using a lot of vocabulary good words like particularly, culture heritage, lasting impression, and therefore. I hope it is very helpful for you and you will follow all the tips to get 9 band in the cue card. We can also discuss a lot of new more cue cards which I have put it for you. So let's now discuss one of the cue cards which talks about describe someone in your family who you like. You should say how this person is related to you, what this person looks like, what kind of person he or she is, and explain why you like this person. Keyword in the first, how, second, what. Third question, again what? And then explain why. So these are the keywords. Let me tell you, once you know the keywords, it is very very easy for you now to make sure that you are all set to answer your question. The person, first question, so we have to be very very specific and to the point. How this person is related to you. Task achievement, the person in my family I really like and also love is my mother. She's a very special person. I cannot imagine what I would be without her. Let's go ahead. What this person looks like. This is the second question. So, what is mapped to the looks of the person whom we are describing? Physically, my mother is petite. She is only about 5 feet tall and weighs about 110 pounds. She has fine black hair and a fair complexion. One thing people often notice is that my mother always take pride in her appearance. Even now, at the age of 80, my mother is a well dressed, well groomed, and an elegant woman with a fine choice of clothes and matching accessories, jewelry, and shoes. So, we are making sure that we are talking about looks. The most important tip which I want to share with all of you is that when we are talking about the looks, when we are shifting and we are going in the flow and answering the second question, it has to be start with. So the first question was how this person is related to you. So you answered it. Now the second question is what this person looks like, and you're starting from physically. So the moment you say physically, the examiner knows, okay, they have now come to the second question. Third question, what kind of person he is, and explain why you like this person. So the third question, let's focus on that. What kind of person he is or she is. So we are starting again the third answer with intellectually. So the examiner catches, oh, now they are answering the third question. Intellectually, my mother always loves learning. Even after a busy day, she won't go to bed without reading the newspaper. She was one of the few members of her family that completed university. She also has many creative and cultural interests, such as literature, music, and dance. Through her own enjoyment, she passed on this love of culture to all her children, including me. So the tip here is when we are starting about what kind of person, we are using the word intellectually. And we put emphasis when we start our answer so the examiner knows you have answered and it is exactly the task achievement. And we are also using connectors like also and good lexical resource like creative, cultural interest, etc. Let's say why you like this person. So now we are at the fourth question. So the fourth tip is we are answering emotionally. Emotionally, my mother has a heart of gold. So it's very important, as I told you all in the speaking test one, when we are using basically the idioms, that's the one thing that we get extra marks and extra band. So we can start emotionally. My mother has a heart of gold. All her life, she has been ready, willing, and able to help anyone who needs anything with a smile on her face. She is of the old school. She remembers to wish friends and relatives on their birthdays and anniversaries. She attends their weddings, dinners, and parties, and she visits them when they are hurt, unwell, or in mourning. So, mourning means when somebody is like in deep sorrow. Another connector here, in fact, my mother has always been a kind soul, and people of all ages love her as soon as they meet her. I think this is because she is good hearted from her core, and her authenticity is what everyone relates to. She has taught me the meaning of being compassionate, loving, kind, helpful, supportive, and so much more. In fact, thanks to the unconditional love of both my wonderful parents, I feel I have been truly blessed. So as I explained to you, the fourth question in the cue card is the your focus should be entirely on this, and you need to make sure that you say at least 4 to 5 sentences, and you are using a you're starting the first tip with emotionally. Second tip, you're using the idiom heart of gold. Third tip, you're using a lot of reasons and giving examples why you really love and like your mother, like kind soul, good hearted, authenticity. Then you're also talking about the qualities like being compassionate, loving, kind, wonderful, supportive, truly blessed. Correct? So, all the best. And if you want to practice more you cards, you can always mail me. You can always contact me at my number. And I wish you a great day ahead. I'm right here to contribute to your success, elevate your success in any way I can. Stay blessed and have the wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, your IELTS coach Pooja. Bye for now. Take care.